Yesterday on the news, I was reading about a tax protester by the name of Ed Brown and his wife Elaine. Two heroes in my book. Two people asked the IRS to show me the law that requires me to pay these taxes. And as usual, a criminal judge who dictates law from the bench, not from the book. It is getting to be a real crime when the true criminals are not men and women like Ed and Elaine Brown, but it's from people like our very own elected officials who steal from us every day, who go up to Congress and the White House and enact new laws, restrictions, even breaking their own oaths of office. I think the biggest crime in the world is like our current traitor-in-chief, who was able to pass bills that blatantly violated his oath of office. But rather than be held accountable for it, they get a free pass. In fact, are even given a medal for the experience. Where people like Ed and Elaine Brown are treated like criminals when a judge says you cannot put a good faith defense forward. When you tried, like Irwin Schiff did, to bring the law into the courtroom to show to people, look, show me the law. Show me where I'm required to pay income taxes. Show me what statute, what regulation passed by Congress that says I have to pay an apportionated tax. A tax that under Section 61 of the Internal Revenue Service Code, I'm not even required to pay. Show me that. Can the IRS do it? No. They rely on everybody. Their favorite line is, everybody should already know it's your patriotic duty. The big bad boogeyman's going to get you. And stuff like that. They make the IRS appear to be this 50-foot spider, but when you get right up on them, they're no more than this big. That little itty bitty spider on a shadow of a wall behind me. It looks so big, yet it's so small. I did give Mr. Brown a lot of credit. He told them that if they're going to get him, it will be with a fight. Too long our brothers and sisters in the tax patriot movement have been railroaded into jail, like Larkin Rose. Him and his wife Teresa have been sent to prison. He was convicted and sentenced to close to 2 years in prison. And his prison sentence hasn't stopped. He has to do another 2 years probation. So he's still under the system. And at any given time, the IRS can just get ticked off with him and send him right back to prison. And then go back in front of a judge and say, I think he needs a little longer in prison. And then probably make a few more charges and make him an habitual offender. And under the 3 strikes you're outlaw, Larkin could be doing anywhere between 5 years to the rest of his life in prison, because now judges has got nearly totalitarian control over us, just like they did with Richard Schukaman. His sentence should have never got him at absolute most 8 years. They went over the norms because they considered him unrehabilitatable. They sentenced him to 13 years in prison for asking the simplest questions. Where is the law? Where is the law? Show us. The We the People Foundation had a massive drive, took a petition all the way up to Capitol Hill for one simple question. Show me the law that requires me to pay and file a federal income tax. And even most criminal. Why should we even bother with it anyway? Any tax that requires you to sign under the penalty of perjury automatically violates your Fifth Amendment rights. I don't give a damn what the court says or some of these so-called tax advice people say. It says that it does and it doesn't. You do have to tell the truth, but only because you're asserting yourself. With what? What are you basing it on? For an income you don't make, because income is capital derived from property. Or just plain. And if you make so much as the slightest mistake, you have a lot to worry about. If you can't show the right deduction, or you take too many or not enough, you've committed perjury. And they could sentence you up to a year in prison. Just like a similar case with, I think, the rapper known as Little Kim. She got the max thrown at her. She got a year and a day initially for lying to a grand jury, for her putting "I didn't know." She got a year and a day and another year's probation, intensive probation. Martha Stewart was brought up on a lot of charges, from insider trading, but when it all come down, she was only convicted of 2 charges, 2 misdemeanors. One of them was for obstruction of justice, the other was for perjury. She got 8 months to 4 months, I think 4 months, I think, for obstruction of justice, and she had to do another 4.5 to 5 months of intensive probation. She had to wear an ankle monitor. She was under in-house arrest. The only places she can go was work functions for 4.5, almost 5 months. That could happen to you. That can happen to you. Because you never know how these judges are going to be. They might decide to make an example out of you because you decided to cheat your fellow man. And for too long, juries has made the same conclusions. When is America finally going to wake up? When are you going to wake up? And see that this country has already hit the toilet. It's going to take, with our jobs going overseas, our politicians selling us out, the traitors on Capitol Hill, I don't care who is in there, Republican or Democrat, doesn't matter. They're all traitors. And they'll continuously make traitors' bills that will forever and always put us on the skids. Because whatever mistakes they make, we are the ones that ultimately have to pay. Well, this is my little rant. Hope you enjoy it. You can email me at johnnyb3443@earthlinks.net if you have any comments, pro or con. Thank you. Goodbye.